In my hand, I am holding the starter set from Yikun Discs. I've got the Who, their driver, the Quay, their mid-range, and the Gway, their putter, all in their nice base lightweight plastic. We're here in Fairmont, West Virginia, Morris Park, going to be playing a 9-hole blended layout between Seth Burton Memorial and Orange Crush in my disc review series, Building the Fun Bag. Where essentially we're going to be comparing these discs just to see how fun are they to throw. You know, we play a fun sport, why not have the fun bag? So today we're building the fun bag. I'm standing on hole 18 right now because I've never thrown these before. So let's go and ace run the basket here, and then we'll get over to hole 1 and get this started. Oh my God, I hit chains. You can't script that better. You can't script that better. Okay. Oh, it's gonna hit the tree. Okay. Look at that shot, right under the basket. All right, starting here on hole 1 of Seth Burton Memorial, 9-hole loop. We're gonna be throwing each disc off the tee at least 3 times today. We're playing short to shorts, unless I say so, because there's some other holes that short to long is a little more fun. We're gonna start with a 148-foot hole right here, hole 1 of Seth Burton Memorial. Straight ahead, we're gonna throw the Gway, the putter, 2302. Very lightweight, so it's not gonna really fly to 302. We gotta aim this straight. All right, that's parked, baby. Let's go. As the set came with a putter, I will be using this as my putter for today, but we don't really even need to think about it there because we parked it. Nice disc so far. All right, hole 2 here, 274 feet. We're gonna be throwing the mid-range, the Quay, a 550 2.5 disc. I've also brought a collection of other discs to throw alongside this one to help get a comparison of. But we'll start with the Quay and then we'll introduce the others as we go. Oop, and I walked too far off the tee pad. Okay, so that flew pretty straight for what 2.5 advertises. So we're gonna throw discs all around that range. So we've first got a zone here, 4303. And you see that one died left a lot sooner, even being beat up and 03. Next up we have the AGL Maple. That one held straight out longer. I did get it more wide, so that's why I didn't look as much, but that did hold straight for a while. Next up, we've got a Rock 3. And I just turfed that throw. Ooh, big skip. And finally, the Crisis from Doomsday. This is a little more overstable than anything here, but yeah. The reason I brought that is I figured the lightweight would make it a little bit more overstable, but because of the power I'm putting on it, because it's such a lightweight disc, it is going to find some understability within the disc. One thing that's going to be a hot topic about the Gway is this underside. Now, it might be a little hard on the camera, but if I run my finger through it, you can see this and this part are very smooth, but we've got some like texture here, almost like a reptile skin kind of texture on the rim. It is also a beadless putter, which I'm not used to, but that's going to be the big topic about this disc is this reptile texture helpful, or is it just something that's kind of in the way? This is the first hole we're going to play to the long position, 286 feet through this tunnel. Basket is tucked basically behind this first telephone pole you see at the box. We're gonna go the Who. Based on what I saw in the Ace run, this thing will turn, but then will fight out. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for here, is to get that turn to miss this first telephone pole and shoot down to the disc, and shoot to the basket, sorry. Okay, so that only turned for me, which is probably a side effect of the lightweight plastic. So even on that turn angle, we still got 250 feet because we've parked red here. Yellow is up through this little gap. I'm just gonna forehand the quay here, kind of test its approachability. This is definitely an overshoot of what this disc is meant to travel. This is about like a 40-foot shot, but it's under the basket. Hole 4 here, a 329-foot par 3. We're gonna do a little CTP challenge with the extra discs I brought. Starting with the Who. We're gonna put this on some big hyzer, as we know now it's gonna flip, and then we'll throw some similar like discs with it. Ooh, okay, so that time it didn't really flip as much. I do think I dialed back a little bit on the power there. Next up, we have the West Side Bear. And that just held the hyzer. Next up, we have the Latitude 64 Sapphire. Again, not really seeing much turn out of these other discs. Next up, we have probably the closest thing, other than a beast, which is the Dystopia from Doomsday. So that one held the turn, but not as drastic. Next we have the H3 V2 from Prodigy. Oh, I just shanked that. Well, that's more on target than any of my shots, actually, so maybe not a true shank. Last up, we got a Passion. Truly a straight flyer there. That was most like the Who, but the thing is, I definitely threw that Passion more flat. The Who, I did have to get a hyzer flip out of that straight shot. So the Who was our second place on the CTP. It actually got, you know, because of the turn, it got more down this little hill. First was the H3, but that was because it was a little more on target. But let's go ahead and we will run this putt actually. Ooh, very close bid. So one thing about today, it is 80 some degrees and it's sweaty. UV of 9, I'm sweating a lot. This reptile skin on the bottom is actually really useful right now to make sure I get that grip on the disc. The non-reptile part's very slick feeling, so I don't like how it feels with the moisture in the air. So I'm really digging this reptile skin part. But hole 5 here, about a 280-foot shot, not counting for the hill. Normally I would go driver here, however I'm saving that third shot for the back 4. So we're just gonna go with the quay. Yeah, even with it lightweight, being that overstable of a disc, I still got to turn with the overstability. All right, I'm gonna putt with my fingers on the slick part to maybe see if this affects anything. Yeah, I might not. That might be a little bias, honestly, but I didn't like how it felt out of the hand. I might have, messed it up on purpose, thinking about how I like the reptile skin more and how I really don't, out of like superstition purposes. but I think putting with the reptile skin is actually really useful for this disc. All right, welcome to the Orange Crush portion of today's video. We're in a wooded course now. Seth Memorial, the front nine was very park-like. Now we're in the wooded section, hole 15 here, par 4, 334 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and use my last throw of the quay here. I'm gonna put it on some forehand here. Try to feed it down there. It's a par 4, so if I hit something, we can still scramble and get that birdie look. Okay. So that hyzered a little more than I would have liked, but we're down there. So this is where I found myself in a little bit of rough here, but I've got a straight line to the basket right through here. I honestly might try to approach with the guay here. Ooh, don't fall over, bag. Let's see if I can step out. Yeah. Okay. We're putting for birdie. We're putting for birdie. Long look, but we're putting. All right. I don't got a marker or anything. Can I actually normal putt this? Maybe. Bang. Let's go. All right, so that is 2 for 3. Should have been 3 for 3 birdies with the quay. Let's go on the hole 16 now. Hole 16, we're going to be playing to the long basket. Short basket straight ahead. Long basket plays the right hand backhand a little more nicely. 268 feet, says the T sign. This is where we're going to throw our comparisons to the guay. Flight numbers tell me most like a Wizard or a PA3, but I've got some extras here. This is such a fun hole to throw, so why not? Start with the guay. As we see, I toned back a little bit on the power there, and it definitely held that flight number more. Next up, we've got a Jawbreaker Banger GT. Now that was very beat up, so that flew so straight actually. Wow, I'm very impressed. Here's the big comparison I'm thinking is the Wizard. This is a 4S hemp. Yeah, that very similar flight there when dialing back to power. Next up, we got the PA3 LA Kings edition. Yeah. Next up, we have a Pixel. This is just kind of a 2-speed equivalent of it. Not so much with the flight characteristics. But if you throw it horribly like I did, you will get the same flight. Let's try a little bit of an overstable comparison with the Pig. Yeah, that dove. Yeah, it's definitely not as overstable as a Pig. And last but not least, the Logic from Discmania. Okay. Well, I guess we won't be comparing the Logic because I hit a tree. Hey guys, I'm down in this ditch right here. Guay fell a little short, so we're gonna putt. Very close. In terms of CTP, PA3 had it, but... Ooh, wow. I don't think I'm getting out of this ditch, guys. Okay, coming into hole 17 here. That big hill we just threw down on 16, we had to walk back up it to get to 17's tee pad. So I am gassed, which makes this the perfect hole to test out the flip capabilities of the Who. Right, I'm gonna be low on stamina, low on power. We'll see if we can still get a hyzer flip to go straight. We got a 266 foot par 3. You can maybe see the red flag. Let's see if we can get it there. And it's still flipped, and it's gonna hold it. Oh, it hit that tree. And that sailed so far after hitting that tree. This was a very horrible tree direct The tree in the sunlight right there in front of me, that's the tree it hit off of, and it came all the way over here. That tree is like edge of circle 1, probably middle of circle 2 and edge of circle 1 can't be the same thing, but that's what it feels like. And now I have to approach here. We're gonna throw the quay on a forehand. That's a great approach disc, honestly. It held that turn. Not something you want to see out of a 2.5 disc, but the turn was held so nicely and it landed flat, so it had a nice smooth landing at the basket for us to putt. Hole 18 of Orange Crush is a par 3, 243-foot tunnel shot straight to the basket. We only got one disc left that needs its third tee shot, is the Gway. Let's try to get this flat, maybe a hair of turn. See if we can get ourselves a birdie to finish the day off. So, ooh, bad kick. Very bad kick. Didn't get quite the turn on it, but we should be able to get par. All right, we've got a little bit of a low ceiling here, but we have an approach line. We're gonna go with a on the knee quay to finish it off. Put a foot behind the disc, get there on the knee. And that's a putt. Aw, man. So we finished the round. Let's talk about the discs. So we'll start with the Gway here. Beadless putter makes me think of a throwing disc, right? I putt with PA3s and Wizards regularly, so I'm thinking of this as a throwing disc. And I don't know. It's not sparking anything in me. It's a true, like, nice flying disc. The numbers throw me off some. I'm afraid of the disc turning over if I throw it too hard, especially with this lightweight plastic. The reptile skin, it has its uses. I love it for this kind of hot, humid day that we're kind of having here, but I don't know, it's not for me. I will not be putting this in the fun bag, but I do honestly think this is a great beginner disc. I do think people should try it out. Now the Quay, on the other hand, this is making the fun bag and probably staying. Probably gonna try to find this in a heavier plastic, because I am looking for something to replace a beat up Canyon. And this has already shown it today with how it flew on, hole 2, holding that straight line and then dying down. I even got it past the basket. None of the other discs I threw made it past the basket on that hole. So this is a perfect for me disc right now. This is going in the fun bag for sure. Now the Who is interesting, because if you saw me on hole 4, I have a hard time getting things to flip. And this is going to flip for me no matter what. Even when we saw it on hole 17 there at the end, or hole 8 for the video, right, I'm up the hill, I just walked up a hill, I'm very fatigued, and I still got this to get some turn out of it. So I think this is a very reliable turn disc. It's going to go in the fun bag for now. I don't know if it will stay permanently in the fun bag, but I think having a disc that you can get to reliably turn is very useful. So those are my thoughts on the Yikun Discs Starter Set. Let me know which one you guys are interested about trying out. Go grab yours today from a retailer. Beautiful plastic, honestly. Beautiful stamps. Like, look at these stamps. Yes, that's all. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment down below. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.